Alright guys, welcome back to the segment. As usual, back again with some latest stories concerning the Super Eagles coach Eric Shaw, players and everything in between. So as you know now, the coach is currently with the NFF's big boys in Abuja as they try to sort out the housing situations for him to enable him stay in the country, be based here, and then have access to everything that he wants, as he works on the job. Uh, for example, if he stays in the country, he can watch and observe the MPFL games closely, and then be able to pick out the best stars to fill in the quota for the MPFL. Uh, players that NFF has given him the authority to include into the team, which specifically are 3 players. But he also has the option to not pick them or not pick up to 3 players. So everything is in the coach's hands. And being in the country also enables him to be close with the NFF so that they can work together to achieve the greater goal, which is obviously getting the result for the Super Eagles, starting with the games coming up next month. But also, there might be a shortfall to it because a lot of people believe that being close to the NFF also can be a negative thing because it presents NFF with the chance of actually removing or controlling the coach, because of course NFF is very reputable for manipulating coaches, but we hope that's not going to be the case for the coach. But right now, what the coach is currently working on, aside from looking for a house with the NFF, is on his list, which is the most important thing. Of course, Nigerians are expecting and hoping that this list comes out good, and the people that we expect to show, or the people that we know are informed currently that should be making the list based on merit, should make the list. That's what everybody's hoping right now, because I mean that's the only way that we can get the results in March. And for Coach Eric Shaw, this is also something that has been causing him sleepless nights. And one of the departments that is very important for us is the attacking department, which is where we arguably have the best players, the best talents currently. And this is the department that Coach Eric Shaw is pondering on a lot now, especially given the fact that we have a lot of strikers who have started scoring goals. So it makes it even difficult for the coach to, to zero down on, 1, 2, 3 players to select to call up. But we all know that, in these attacking talents, we have the guys that are already established, and we have the guys that are trying to break in to push out the ones that are not really performing well. For example, the guys that are established, we all can agree Victor Osimhen is one of those guys. Boniface as well is one of those guys. At some point, we had Taiwo Awoniyi, but due to that injury that he just recently came out from, he seems to have reduced his productivity rate. So definitely, I would expect him to have fallen down the pecking order. But we also have guys who are trying to break in, the likes of Paul Onuachu, Tolu Arokodare, Cyril Dessas, Gift Urban even recently, and then there is Chuba Akwam as well. So these guys are pushing in, trying to break in, trying to push out the guys that are not performing very well. And from the coach side right now, an insider source is saying that the coach is seriously considering dropping Victor Boniface ahead of Paul Onuachu. That is, the coach is looking at these 2 players and is thinking Paul Onuachu is going to offer me a lot more of what I want for this team in March. Because for the coach, he feels that Paul Onuachu is a player that can actually play together on the same pitch with Victor Osimhen, and then prosecute the job, it effectively, because he has the ability to hold up play, he has the ability to, win area balls, link his player up and things like that. And as well, one of his biggest strengths is heading balls. So in set piece areas, it makes us very dangerous. So these are some of the attributes that Paul Onuachu has shown to Coach Eric Shaw. And Coach Eric Shaw, after watching these clips of Onuachu and Boniface, the report is that he's drifting more towards the side of Onuachu than Victor Boniface. And one of the things that hasn't done Victor Boniface any good is his previous appearances for Super Eagles. Last year he made a lot of appearances, didn't really score a lot of goals. Even when we saw him for a brief period of time played on the same pitch with Victor Osimhen. They didn't have that cohesion together. So this is something that Coach Eric Shaw is thinking about. That's why he wants to maybe bring Paul Nacho instead of Victor Boniface. But all of these are still rumors. Nothing has been decided yet. The coach is still very much open to uh, bringing anyone that he wants. But at the end of the day, we should not be surprised when we see, the likes of Paul Nacho making the list and then Boniface, getting dropped, something like that. But we'll still need to wait, a couple of days, probably a few weeks to see this list come out. But moving away from that, guys, we had some interesting performances from our Super Falcons stars, likes of Jennifer Echegini was one of the most outstanding players on the night yesterday as PSG came home with a 4-1 emphatic victory over Montpellier. Echegini was one of the scorers of these four goals. She scored in the 35 minutes after Gayoko scored in 23rd. And then we saw Kachao scored in the 65th. And then Lochta scored in the 87th before Montpellier put one consolation goal in through the boots of Nguelu. And Jennifer Chegini was, arguably the man of the match for that game because she scored one goal and then created an assist as well for the match. And for the Montpellier side, we also had a Super Falcons striker who, was on display for that game, but it was unfortunate for them. They were the heavy losers of that game. Ifeoma Onumonu also played some vital minutes for that game, played for 68 minutes, but at the end of the day, couldn't get anything out of that match. And as it stands now, PSG, in third position despite that victory, with Chamaka Nadoze's Paris FC still topping them with 1 point, and then we have Lyon in first place. So it's going to be something very interesting to see. The league as it's shaping up to be right here. A lot of Super Falcons stars challenging for the title this season, but we'll see how it goes. Later on at the end of the season. But moving away from that, guys, Coach Eric Shaw is now in danger of actually losing out on convincing Nwaneri to come play for the Spikes of Nigeria, and this is coming out after Fabrizio Romano confirmed on his YouTube channel that Thomas Tuchel, the new coach of the English Three Lions, is considering inviting Ethan Nwaneri to captain him with the English Three Lions because of his performances lately in the Arsenal shirt. We've seen what he does every week for Arsenal team. Even in their recent game against Leicester City, was one of the most outstanding players on the pitch. Not just him, but also Lewis Kelly, the fullback of the Arsenal side. So, Fabrizio Romano of TUCHEL is looking at tying these two guys, especially Lewis Kelly, who is a fullback for Thomas Tuchel. He feels that Lewis Kelly's position is much more needed in the English Three Lions because of the likes of Luke Shaw and some important players not being available for the English Three Lions. But Ethan Nwaneri is also someone that could be captained, if he's called upon to play in this break coming up in March. They actually have a game against Albania and Latvia. So this game, if Nwaneri is called up to play these games, it could be in that it's game over for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and it's the door's going to close forever for him to come play for the team.